Okay. This is my recap of probably the worst movie of all time. I know for a fact it's one of the most inaccurate movies I've ever seen. Alright, they opened the movie with the 1994 AMAs. That's the American Music Awards. Alright, that's her singing the Porgy and Bess medley. Then they flipped to the church. So now you went from 1994 back to probably like 80, early 80, before her first record comes out, if not the late 70s. They got the church decor. That's all wrong. New Hope is red. It ain't burgundy. It's just all bad. We'll talk about the interior of the church. Then they tried to make Sissy out to be like this evil, overbearing parent. Yeah, she was tough, but you do not get a Whitney Houston without a Sissy Houston. That's facts. Then you start looking at the hair. You like, Jesus Christ. These wigs look like Party City. Matter of fact, they look like the Party City wigs that's on clearance. That's how bad they look. Hair just all bad. Then they got Sissy singing up there at Sweetwater's. And they have a man playing keys for Sissy. And if you follow their family for a great length of time, you will know Bette Sussman, which is a lady, was Sissy's pianist. Yo, Juice, roll the tape. Now, right here is where they're making me cut this Letterman / Bette Sussman footage. I use this footage to prove a point. But YouTube wants me to cut it or mute it or whatever. But I'm going to mute it. But I'm going to leave it here just to show y'all the inaccuracies of the movie. Y'all can go and look up this clip. But it shows you she was the pianist. If you look at the caption, Bette Sussman was the pianist, not a dude. Nah, let's move on to the daddy. Now look how they got daddy looking. They got daddy looking like he the ex-boyfriend of Harriet Tubman. Oh my God, they just do anything. Everybody knows John Huston is a very regal-looking man. He looked like he in the mall. You know what I'm saying? Tall, light-skinned, just very regal-looking. Pat, you need to be slapped for that right there. Then, when they switch from like whoever live voice they were using, I don't know if it was Naomi's or not, but when they switch from that to Whitney actually singing, you could hear the switch. Like it's not seamless. It's just all bad. Like, I mean, who was in charge? Tom and Jerry? It's all bad. Next we have the scene where the dad is like pinpointing he don't like something in the contract. And they try to make it seem as though the dad was like always the manager. No, she had a manager before her father. His name was Gene Harvey. Big time manager. A lot of people they trying to write out of the story, but yeah, Gene Harvey was her first manager. And then after that, you know, Gene wasn't moving like he was supposed to. Then came John Huston. Another thing they conveniently left out was her modeling career. Trying to balance modeling with being at Mount St. Dominic's, which is a Catholic school. Oh, they left all that out. They didn't even acknowledge any of that. That's crazy. Let's see, what else do we have on this list? Well, she was on the Merv Griffin show. They basically had her moving her shoulders like she was like on the verge of doing the backhand bounce. I mean, you're doing too much. It almost looked like a caricature of Whitney Houston. Like, what fool thought that was a good idea? Crazy. Then they took the song Where Do Broken Hearts Go, and they made it seem as though it was a part of the first album. It wasn't. It came from the second album. That was back in 87. Then you see a little flash of Jermaine Jackson, you know, with little Jerry curl, you know, but they didn't explore that, you know, how she was going with Jermaine, and Jermaine was actually married, you know. But they ain't say nothing about that. It's just kind of like, just skimmed over Jermaine Jackson being in her life. Then they stole excerpts from Robin Crawford's book. If I was Robin, I'd just sue him. I'd sue him. I don't even like him. I'd sue him for that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Pat had to steal it from Robin's book because Pat wasn't even around during that time anyway. What else is on this list? Yeah, I was literally in the movie making a list. Checking it twice. They moved on to the song I Want to Dance With Somebody, which was on the second album, without even highlighting the success of the first album. The first album was like super groundbreaking. Super groundbreaking. But they skimmed over the success. And then like randomly in the background, you always see a picture of Dionne Warwick or a picture of like Michael Jackson or something. Like, it should be random. And then you saw the daddy walking around giving out credit cards. That's another scene from Robin's book. And then they had these pictures, like when they would have like scenes from the actual house, their home life. You know, in the background, it's supposed to be pictures of the actress or the actor that's playing the person, right? Make it look more realistic. Nah, these fools had pictures of the real Whitney Houston in the background. Like, who did this? Crazy. Then, you know, they had some little fake out shop and he was out of dough protesting, talking about Whitey Houston. You know, if you don't know the backstory of that, you're not going to get it when you see him because you're not going to know that that's Al Sharpton or anything. But we, you know, those of us that's like ride or die fans, we know. Then they tried to bring in the song Hurt So Bad. Why Does It Hurt So Bad? Which was on the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. Waiting to Exhale came out, what, like 95? Well, right now in the movie is 1990. Then they try to say, oh, she couldn't relate to the song at that time. So then when Exhale came out, that's when she could relate to it. Crazy. Then they left the Randall Cunningham, Arsenio Hall show, Eddie Murphy years. They left all them years out. They just took an eraser to them. Then they wanted to make sure there was no smoke from Dionne concerning Dionne and her sister, the late Dee Dee Warwick. So they left them out altogether. They I saw that little picture you saw in the background of Dionne. Oh, man. Nah, man. They were like, nah, we don't want them problems. Get them up out of here. Get the Warwicks up out of here. Then they had Whitney and Bobby in these red outfits. Roll the tape. These outfits, these red outfits, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's around 93. I think it's 1993 Billboard Awards. They had them in these clothes, and mind you, and Bobby was married when they had this on. They had these clothes on, and ain't even been no wedding. Matter of fact, they hadn't even been engaged yet in the movie. Just chronologically all out of order, just out of whack. Now, they're in the limo. And Bobby is proposing to Whitney. And after she say yeah, Then he proceeds to tell her about Kim Ward being pregnant with Lil Bobby. See, but they ain't say all these names, but that's what happened. But Whitney told the driver to stop. She jumps out of the limo in the middle of the interstate. Yeah, right. Yo, man, they just tell us anything. We don't know nothing. Crazy. Now, poor Ricky Minor. Ricky Minor is Whitney's musical director during her prime years. And he was her musical director. They got Ricky Minor in the movie like a medium brown color. Ricky Minor look like he half white. They just do anything over there. Anything. They let anybody put together a movie. Then they don't even explore her previous musical director. I think his name was John. This is pre-Ricky Minor. He dies when the AIDS epidemic starts to get big. He dies like in the middle of that. John did. They had no mention of it, no nothing. But anyway. Then there is zero mention of the I'm Your Baby Tonight era. Now, those of us that know the deal, that era was very important because at the time they were saying she's for the white people and all her music is white. All her music is white, 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 white. So she did that record that had like a little hip-hop vibe to it. She did that record to prove that she wasn't just down for middle-of-the-road white-type music. But they skipped right over that era. Like it didn't even exist. That's how you know you got the wrong people at the helm. All right. Then they skipped straight to The Bodyguard. Bump on Your Baby Tonight era. We're going straight to The Bodyguard. They showed her having a miscarriage. Or alluding to it, because I don't think they ever used the word miscarriage. Then they showed her listening to the Dolly Parton version of I Will Always Love You. And she'd go, yeah, I love it. Nah, first of all, the first version that they sent over there was the Linda Ronstadt version. Okay, she ain't really care for it. It took her a little bit to warm up that I Will Always Love You. You know, then the Dolly version came and, you know, the rest is history. But they ain't even explore none of that. Then, boom, skip straight to 1994. Ain't no wedding. No wedding yet. Skip straight to 94. Then, bam, they hit rewind on you. Went back to 92. Now we at the wedding. And, you know, thank God there was no mention of the Winans in this movie because I'm sick of the Winans always trying to connect themselves to Whitney Houston. I always talk about C.T. Winans sound just like Whitney. And we know that's a lie from the pits of hell. I do not have a C.T. Winans record, but I have Whitney Houston records. So you know what that means. If I don't have your record, you might not be that good. Okay. We're going to fast forward. Well, we didn't, but that's what Mother Pat did. Just fast right on forward. They had the baby born after the South Africa concert. The New South Africa concert was in like 94. The baby was born in 93. What y'all doing up there, man? Just all wrong. Then here come Musty Pat. Let me roll the footage. All right, as you see, this picture tells the story. Pat Houston made herself look light-skinned and look like $1 million. Well, the lady do kind of look like a tranny, but we ain't gonna go there. But Pat, you do not look like this. You need to stop. This is all a lie. You do not look like this. Oh, I was gonna say something else, but my mama on here. So I'm gonna be real nice. Pat, you built like an Amazon. You don't look nothing like this. You just big, very big boned. So the next move, see, you delusional like Aretha. Remember when Aretha Franklin, y'all, wanted Halle Berry to play her? Like, Ree, you don't look nothing like no Halle Berry. Well, Pat, you don't look nothing like this lady right here. Just stop. Don't do this no more now. Don't do this no more. Now, they done took some of the dialogue of Whitney's interview with Oprah, the last one. They took some of that and turned that into, like, portions of the script. But it was still in New Jersey within the script. The stuff that was being said happened in ATL. Just all over the place. Just doing whatever they want to do. Then they just skipped right on through her movie career. You didn't hear anything about Waiting to Exhale. You didn't hear anything about The Preacher's Wife. You didn't hear anything about Whitney being a producer, an executive producer of Cheetah Girls, Sparkle. None of that. Princess Diaries. None of that stuff. None of it. It's like they didn't even highlight any of her accomplishments or real accomplishments. So, they're already at the Beverly Hills Hotel. They just done skipped right on over there. But that's where Clive's bungalow is. Not to be confused with the Beverly Hilton, which is where she passed away. So she over there at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and then boom, we on the My Love Is Your Love. Which the timing is all bad because Pat done showed up. But Pat wasn't a part of My Love Is Your Love era. That was Robin. That was like the end of Robin. Pat wasn't even there like that, like on the scene like that. She might have been going to get a cup of coffee or two. And then no mention of Sylvia. Sylvia, none of it. Man, this is all bad and inaccurate. Then you see Whitney getting out of the car and going into the Beverly Hilton. Now, we already done fast forward now to where she finna die. Okay. They made it seem like she came to the Beverly Hilton. First of all, the clothes was wrong. They had her in the My Love Is Your Love era clothing in 2012. You know what I'm saying? So, they, fast forward, have her at the Beverly Hilton. They have her dying the same day she got there. And those of us that know the story know she was there for like a week. At least a week before she died. They made it seem like she came that day and she was dead by that afternoon. You know. I did have some clips of the soundtrack that I wanted you guys to hear. But the YouTube powers that be, they're flagging my joint because of that. But if you Google it, not Google it, but put it in the search in YouTube, you will hear the most atrocious soundtrack of all time. It is just geared to like a Euro audience. That's it. It totally alienates her 40-year fans. It's just total garbage. Well, until next time, I'm Money Tot, and I'm out.